All right, I want to welcome everybody to another episode of Powerful Impact, where we highlight people who made a powerful impact on the culture, music, or their community. Today, we're working in partnership with Rap and Hip Hop Connection, based in France, from the creative mind of Issa. Go ahead and just give a wave at everybody, Issa. That way, they can just identify you for your.
Salute.
All right, salute, salute. And I'm so Rack, the troublemaker of Powerful Impact. Just kidding. Neb and SP will be joining us as well. And we're excited about our guest for today, ConfuseArt. He's a member of the artist collection Mad Urgency, which is the art collective founded by Mr. Chuck D, as we all know him, Chuck D from Public Enemy. So we're glad to have you here today. We're excited about you being here, and we want to talk about your story. I just want to go ahead and start us off with the first question, just so we can just kind of get a little bit of your background, and we'll just continue to dive deep as we continue with this conversation. But where are you from originally, and how did that shape you personally, and professionally?
Okay, first off, thank you for having me, and I really appreciate it. And I'm from Hamburg, Germany.
Okay.
Born and raised here,
All right.
40 years strong. And socially, how it shaped me, I would say um, I grew up very international, and that shaped my character
Mm-hmm.
because of the diversity of cultural impact.
Okay.
So yeah, the diversity in Germany is big, and I like that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that. And again, it's just you're an example to show the level of impact that hip hop has made, because you're living in Germany, and the
Yep.
artwork that you have represents hip hop icons and hip hop legends.
Mhm.
What are some of the differences in Germany versus I say hip hop in Germany versus the hip hop you see in the US or in other countries? What would you say are some of the differences or similarities based on your experience?
These days, or in particular,
Any time frame, you just speak to whatever your experience is.
these days is more. Yeah, I don't dig these days from
Okay,
Germany
okay,
hip hop, and I went back more to overseas. You
okay,
are all the originators,
okay.
and a lot of artists doing a great job.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, the vibe from the originators and the spirit is better than here, even
Hmm.
if we try in Germany to come as close as possible.
Hmm.
Yeah, these days it's a little bit more trappy, and it
Okay,
can be good, but I don't get this vibe too much. But that's no hate to nobody. I just love the original.
of course.
So yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we can see that in your artwork. We can tell that that's where you definitely moved, and you have the passion for the art, the hip hop of the golden era. I know you draw a lot of those artists from that time
Yeah.
frame, and and that's great, because I consider myself one of the people who, like you said, the original. I'm a golden
Yeah.
era junkie, if there was a term for it. And I'm just grateful again that you're doing the artwork that you're doing, because I feel like you're memorializing hip hop icons, because one day these artists that we embrace, they
Mhm.
won't be here anymore. And one of the things that you're doing, you're pretty much doing what, like I would say, like the Picassos and the different ones did with history. You're basically giving them a historic presence, because you're storing them in art, and that way
Mhm.
generations that will follow after us, that will see your artwork, and they'll be like, wow, look at Method Man when he was doing this, or look at Biggie and all these different people. So you're doing a great service for the hip hop community, and I just want to salute you for that. And so, just again, thank you for what you're doing for the culture as a whole.
Mm,
Thank you very much. And
absolutely.
I just want to give back because
Mhm.
there's so many styles and so many approaches for life are gained from hip hop.
Mhm.
And from, most of the time from the early 90s and early 2000s, and everything after that. I'm not in popping bottles and stuff.
Mhm.
I definitely need something more deep for myself. And yeah, this is just a giving back, a thank you to what these people gave me. It's for me, it's a back and forth. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool.
Okay, me, I would like to know about your name, ConfuseArt. Where did it come from?
I used to rap like a fanatic, and my persona is a little bit confused with the D, but I like the aesthetics of confused better than confused because it's
Yeah.
like a silent D, and I can't speak it very good. So it was confused, always confused. And when I decided to do something with my art, I just put the art next to it. So it's confused art. Yeah.
Okay.
And me as a person, sometimes I'm a little bit clumsy. And yeah, this is how I was forming
I'm
this
clumsy
together.
too, so I can relate.
Me
Yeah,
too.
and so
And who inspired you at first to come to art, to do art?
just art or urban hip hop art.
Hip hop art.
Okay, there is Wildstyle. I saw it in the early, I don't know, not 93, 95. And we was a group of kids like having no idea from life. And then there was for Hamburg's status famous writer, and he gave us a perspective in showing us Wildstyle, the movie. And from this point, I
Yeah.
knew like when I paint, I want to do this because this is me. This is my speech. This is my language. This is how I like to express myself. So Wildstyle. And before that, it was Ninja Turtles with cartoons and stuff, and
Okay.
He-Man.
Oh, He-Man. Oh, yeah. Now
Yeah,
you're
He-Man
talking.
and stuff.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
old school stuff. But
Because
it was Wildstyle.
you mean before you started hip hop art, you were into art, other style, like regular style of art, you mean?
Yeah,
What
I
style?
was doing like Mega Man. It's a video game, Mega Man.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like copying the end bosses, and then I was gluing them to my shelf or whatever. So, and the Ninja
Okay.
Turtles and stuff, I was copying this, and yeah, my life have changed when I saw Wildstyle. What can I say?
Yeah,
And
okay.
I'm sure a lot of artists were like so inspired by Wildstyle.
Yeah, well, it's dope, though.
Mhm.
Well, I think everybody has what I call a hip hop love story. Basically, it was the first song that you heard that was a hip hop song or something that made you fall in love with hip hop. What
Yeah.
would that be for you? What was that love story or that song? I would call it a love song, where you fell in love with hip hop. What would that be for you?
Okay, for me, I was in Germany. It's the fourth class, and I was like 7, 8 years old,
Okay.
perhaps a little bit older. And
Okay.
there was these two guys, and we had what was it? We were celebrating the last day of the
Hmm.
school for the teenagers before going to the next, and they was doing crisscross jump jump. And you
Okay.
can't. I got a video seeing me in the back like doing some steps. What
Okay.
I was like copying what I was seeing because
Hmm.
it was the rhythm. It was to me it was crisscross jump jump.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That so
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
That's still a legendary track. I mean, people can say what they want, but
it is
I will admit
legendary.
I had my pants backwards. I did the crisscross thing. I wasn't immune to that because that was just something that was a movement at the time.
Hmm.
And you kind of when you talk about crisscross, you think about hip hop fashion, which
Hmm.
art people that are artists are the ones who help design some of the fashion that we see
Hmm.
today or saw in the
Yeah.
golden era of hip hop. Um, yeah, so that's just something that we recognize in the culture because art and hip hop go hand in hand. You can't have one
That's
without the
true.
other. So it's important with the work that you're doing. Um,
Hmm.
and I do want to ask you a question as far as what is your definition of hip hop? Like I know you talked about a little bit earlier where you were saying that you like the original. What
Hmm.
what do you consider to be the original as far as hip hop music, or what is your definition. You can give a broad definition or something specific. It's really up to you.
I like the different approaches and the innovation.
Okay.
Because there are some rappers where are a dozen from it, and there are just these one of a kind, DMX, you know.
True.
And for me, I felt his pain. Even I got a good life and good parents, and I can't front on it, you know. But somehow I felt his pain and what he was expressing, and this gave me some energy to get through life. Because to me, DMX was a superhero, and when he died, I cried. I swear to God, because I couldn't believe that he's gone.
You weren't the only one.
Okay.
You weren't. You weren't the only one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah. So the most rappers for me were superheroes, and Ace, of course. To me, he's a superhero. I look up to him, and what he's delivered, a very, very important artist to me, and what he's given and what he's teaching. Without this finger, like, listen to me, I got this recipe, and rapper needs some innovation and something that can give people approach in life to get through life better. And of course, like, we need to do this muscle stuff. Flexing, it belongs to us. But if it's only that, then I'm bored pretty quickly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. It does.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I just had a comment. It wasn't even a question. My comment was that damn Crisscross song Jump Jump, the remix with Supercat on it. I love the remix with Supercat. Have you ever heard that version of it?
No, sir. Unfortunately.
What? You have to. All right, we're gonna send that to you. But he's like,
yes,
special
please.
request to all the uptone man, and a special request to all downtown man.
Okay.
On the mic and I man, and then we'll go another session after round. It was so dope. But anyway, I can't do it.
Sounds dope. You just nailed it.
Yeah, he did. I thought Supercat was with us. I thought Supercat was with us for a moment. I'm telling you, did you reincarnate the Supercat for a second?
It was dope,
yeah, that's dope.
So we were talking earlier about you being a member of the collective Mad Urgency. And me, I'm curious about that. I would like to know how it happened. How did you get into it?
Okay, that was like 2018, and our chairman Malcolm Riddle and Andrew Katz. That was when I used to do Instagram. I'm off the grid there. I don't like it, and they were hollering at me and giving me props, and they was asking me if I'm interested to join. And then from year to year, a mutual friendship gained, and these are all good guys, and I try very hard to keep up with them from eye to eye to not disappoint anybody and being the weak part of the chain. You know, I try very hard to do my best for the group. Yeah.
What you do dope art, I think. You
Absolutely.
fit in totally, you know.
Absolutely.
This collective is totally. You are all different and all unique, and totally do fit in.
Everybody got a different side. There's so many inspiration in that group, and all like-minded people, and they all work hard. We just had this, thanks to Kyle Moser and Sedge, we had this gallery with Brother Ernie that would never had happened for me if I just sit here in my my small living room painting funny pictures and stuff. So they made it possible for me, and I'm always grateful for it, because for me it was like, okay, everything done in life, I never will complain about anything anymore, because this was to me like I'm accepted even as German from Germany, you know. So that was like huge. It was huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. And you do only paintings, or what technique are you using?
Chop suey. I do everything. It's like there are too many herbs to just use one, I would say. Sometimes I do oil. I got this Sean Price here. It's not ready. I can't.
Can we see it? I don't know if you can spoil us today. I like to be spoiled every now and then. Get an exclusive.
Herbs. Yeah.
Oh,
this
dope.
is oil, and this is from an interview.
Okay.
And the interviewer asked him, "What's the definition of hip hop?" And he answered, "Like this is the definition of hip hop."
Okay.
And this speaks volume, man.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Shampoo.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But to come back to your question, I like to have variety, and most of the time, I don't know why, I just see what do I have, and even it's almost like this Copic marker is almost empty, but I try to flip something out of it. Something out of nothing is my style. And what's around, I take it, I grab it. If it's pastel, oil, acrylic, spray can, everything. I chop suey. There's everything in it. Yeah. I like to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely obvious in your artwork, especially when I look at your artwork. I can tell you're having fun while you do it. It's an expression of the work that you're doing. One in particular, one of the ones one of my favorite. Well, there are a lot of them, but one of them is the one you did of 50 Cent and how you had like the exaggerated features and things of that nature. And like with the Master Ace, you drew it a certain way, but with 50 Cent there was exaggerated features. Similar to the one you have in the background with the Eminem, you kind of use certain techniques when you're drawing. Can you speak to that? I know you say that you kind of do chop suey and you like to make something out of nothing, which is basically what I see that artists contribute whenever they do art. But as far as the ones that you do, what are some of the, like when you did the 50 Cent, what was the mindset, or even the one, since we have a picture of it in the background or image in the background of the Eminem where you do somewhat the exaggerated features and stuff like that, what goes through your mind? Like, what is your process, if for lack of a better better term, what is your process as far as when you start drawing? Like, what are you thinking about? Like, okay, well, I'm a overemphasize the nose or the ears or whatever. What's your process when you create it?
Okay, for the caricatures, first off, I need to be interested in the person.
Okay.
I need to have something out of it. Even like this Joker, I saw this movie just a month ago. Probably the last person on planet who saw it. But I was like blown away by the movie. Then I was like this moment where he was in the lift, in the elevator. That's the only moment he were free from his suffering, and he felt so free. So that was the approach on that piece. And caricatures, it's a little bit difficult because you can't just exaggerate the nose and the ears and stuff. You need to stay true to the person. And a lot of beginner artists like over exaggerate everything, but they lose the likeness. So it's a back and forth always for me. And I try to not be too perfect and have a little fun with it. At the same time, I destroy it on purpose and then go over it like, that's pretty much my approach for caricature. But in first place, I like to be interested in the person and like to have fun and point out on how unique this person is, not to laugh about anybody. I don't do this. I don't like this, but yeah.
I like that, because that tells me that you are an artist with standards. You're not just doing it because you want to get paid. You're doing it because you love the art. And that's important, because I think that creates the authenticity that we need, is when you have a passion to do it and you're motivated by the subject that you're drawing or the person that you're working with at that particular moment. I like something you said. You said a beginning artist will draw, and I try to say this word, but I always mess it up. So I'll say a caricature. If I say it wrong, forgive me. But at the end of the day, you draw it. You said that you want to keep the likeness, because that's what I've noticed with certain artists when they try to draw it, they don't keep the likeness. Like, it don't look like the person that they're drawing. Like it might start off like Master Ace, but it look like Master Bass when they done. It don't look like the person. And when you said that, it made me think, because sometimes one is like, who is this person they drew? Because I know they got the name on there, but it don't look nothing like the person. So it's good that you said that, because a lot of times we don't understand that those who are not, consumers of art, or those who are not artists, they may not understand that aspect. So I'm glad you brought that out. Now, keeping in line with your artwork, since we already brought it up, what was your first, I guess you would say, paid gig, or what motivated you to? I know you say you started out as a rapper. Was your rap name also ConfuseArt, or was it
always confused?
Okay.
Before that, I just said I'm the best. I'm just the best. You want to fuck with me, man?
All right. Well, that's the attitude you gotta have when you're an artist. You gotta be like, I'm the best. I mean, don't do it if you don't have confidence in yourself. But you also gotta have confidence in your artwork as well. So with that being said, when you, and I want to kind of, we kind of touched on the rap thing. Do you have any music from that time frame? Do we have any
I do have,
art, hip hop in some kind of archive or some type of treasure chest that we need to share? Okay, all right. Well,
I got like, I used to do beats. I got this little, I did like 300 beats.
Okay, dope.
Well,
you gotta. Yeah, you definitely got to share that with us. I mean, I'm sure we can add that into the commercial. We can add that into the video and everything like that. Now, I want to circle back to my question. I kind of veered off into you being an artist, but I'm glad I did, because I didn't know you made beats either. So now we talking. So we're gonna have to holler at you later. But So with you, as far as your artwork, what was your first gig that you did where you were a bona fide artist, where you got paid, or what was that for you? Do you?
I used to do paint boards for like children, SpongeBob and Spider-Man and everything like that, but always for free, because I like the project and I can't on strangers' walls. So it's basically graffiti, because you go outside. This is my wall. You do something on it.
Of course.
But the first time paid, I think it's Dumbo, something like Dumbo. Lion King on for 80 euros. It's a little bit more. It's like $80.
Okay.
And that's probably the first request art in 2005, 3, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. How long have you been doing it professionally, as far as your artwork?
Since I've started with graffiti.
Okay.
Since this day, I was like, I will anybody up. I was like, just like from day to day, I try to be more professional, but not with people and what's the word? Clients. Just for myself. I had like all my pieces on the wall, basically like now, creating my own world. This, I think, a path of an artist.
Sure.
And but I consider myself professional since I've started graffiti.
Okay.
Because it taught me you can't be whack.
Oh, that's true. Now, since you brought up graffiti, now I want to ask you something in that arena. What are some of the similarities, and so what are the differences between what you did when you was doing graffiti or tagging back in the day to what you do now? What are some of the differences, or is it?
I was known as the character guy because I'm too sloppy for outlining. I always was. I can't do. It's not me, man. So characters were almost like caricatures. It's almost the same thing for me, because I always was interested in humans and their history and what their face is telling me. It's very interesting to study people. without being too nerdy, right? But yeah, I used to, my name as a writer was Sector, like S-E, not C-E, S-E-C-T-O-R, but I did it with a K in German.
Okay.
So like this is my area, and yeah, you asked for the similarities to from then to today, or yeah. It's difficult because one thing is letters.
Okay.
Perhaps style I took from be original and don't be like everybody else. And yeah, like be original. Be original and develop a style. Very important to develop our own style. And I still do it from day to day. Today I did this little thing just for myself. You probably can't see it. It's just a character face. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is graffiti still for my day routine.
Okay.
I do it as warm-ups, and then I start the job.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
And I would also like to know how can well when you decide to do a work, how do you decide whether you're gonna do a caricature or a regular portrait? I'm curious about that.
I'm an emotional guy. I need to feel it. It's very that simple. Sometimes I'm just listening to a track from somebody and I just like, man, I need to do a tribute for him or her. And sometimes I see a person even outside and I'm like, this person is so interesting. I just want to see what's the character of the person and exaggerate it to make the character even more pop. Like, look how unique this person is.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's based on emotions. I'm an emotional guy, and that's not always good. But yeah, I need to feel it. Yesterday I was watching Lord of the Rings, and now I'm painting Saruman.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. You got any sketches at this point?
Not really, but I did a screenshot.
Okay.
But this will definitely be a warm-up sketch.
Okay. Dope.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you use also drawing blocks and like how writers do use writer blocks? You have that like
a block where I write.
Yeah, paper blocks.
No, like writer's block, block, or drawing block.
When I couldn't be, when I'm not creative, you mean?
Yes, yes. When people have like dry spells or droughts, I always wondered that with artists or people that paint or draw, they don't get writer's block or drawing block.
I try to trick myself. When I'm just on the blank white paper, I flip it to green paper or cardboard or canvas, and I paint something on it. And let me show you one thing.
Okay. Please share.
Because I know hip hop artists have, from time to time, right, writer's block or authors. So I just wonder if it's
she painted me a cake for my 40th birthday. Best present ever.
That's dope.
Oh, that's cute.
She's following in your footsteps.
Yeah.
Art.
When I had a block, right?
Wow.
The word says "fuck depression, do hip hop."
Okay.
When I had a block in my life, I just painted some ugly background and then I went straight up over it.
Okay.
Like painting all of it out.
Dope.
And I always try to do when I'm intimidated of a white blank page, I just try to find something what's more appealing for me. And this was that day was the canvas, and just I painted what came out of me.
Okay.
And yeah.
So the answer is like kind of you work through it basically. You don't wait through it. You work through it instead of waiting through it.
Yeah, I do some ugly shit and then I go over it and
I do some dope shit. Picasso shit.
Yes, sir.
I like that answer. So when I have writer's block and drawers block, I do ugly shit and then I do dope shit over it. That's a metaphor for life. Powerful impact. Boom!
Powerful impact.
Yeah.
Dope, man.
You do a lot of dope shit, I think, more than ugly shit, like you said.
I agree.
Yeah, but I try to do something more meaningful than this. The only conclusion to dope shit that's not all, man. I need to do something with a deeper meaning. And tributes are good, but yeah, I'm analyzing my art a lot and why it's successful or not. And I try to be honest with myself. And sometimes only doing dope shit is not the end goal. So humor is always something I like to. Inspiration and humor. Yeah, these are two main ingredients for me.
I like that.
Good.
So, what are some of your favorite collaborations up to this point?
Oh, man, Urgency.
Okay.
With Brother Ernie.
Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. Like we all was in New York, and I'm sitting here in Williamsburg, Germany. You know, I told my mother, "Mama, my stuff is in New York," and she's like, "Okay, cool," because she don't really know what that means, but she is very happy for me.
Okay.
But it's a little bit, yeah.
And we celebrate that with you as well, because we acknowledge what you do as an artist, and it's a great thing to be able to work with an icons like Chuck D, and as well as the other artists that are a part of the collective, because I've seen some of the artwork from the people that are part of your team, and it's dope. It's dope. You know, I'm a little biased. I'm more, I like yours the most. I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
Oh, thank you, brother.
That's just me. You know, I'm not saying that because we're friends, but it's just because of the fact that I just like what you did. I mean, when I first, you know, I can give a ConfuseArt experience. My first one I saw, I was like, man, this is dope. I haven't seen anything like this before. You know, I've seen other artists that do good artwork, and don't get me wrong, there are plenty, especially on Twitter, that I had the pleasure of meeting. But you know, you're one of the standout ones. And Issa can tell you, I don't, you know, I'm not blowing smoke or anything. Issa tell you, I said all the time, like we talk about art, I ConfuseArt. That's the one that, you know, really touches me as far as artwork. And you know, I appreciate what you did for me for the single cover. So you know, we hopefully we have an opportunity to talk about it today. If not, again, we're just glad to talk about the things that you're doing. But I do want to ask one more question, and then we'll definitely allow you know, my colleagues to ask some additional questions. But what advice would you give someone wanting to get into your profession at this point in time? Because I'm sure there are a lot of hungry artists that wants to be like a ConfuseArt, that wants to be a part of the collective that you're on. That's a big dream of theirs, to see that become a reality. What advice would you advise them to, as far as they start their journey?
First off, I would say I had a lot of people that came to me, always the same stuff. If I could paint like you, I would be rich. That's always the first thing. And then they are a little bit curious. I show them a few tricks, and then be like, "Oh, fuck ConfuseArt, I'm better than him." They get very cocky.
Oh yeah.
But they lose patience. All of them. And so I would recommend a new artist, be patient. Don't be too harsh on you. These things need, like I do this 25 years, and I consider myself boring, but that's another story. It's a common thing with artists, you know. We only see where we can get, but patience, and prove yourself if this is really you, because you like to do it, and do you like to do it with no money? You know, if you still would you still do it without money? Because I did it all day, every day. I had days where it was 16 hours, like painting all day. I remember that Snoop Dogg that was 17 hours, and I was like 10 hours one day, and the next day I came from work directly to my tablet painting because I love it. Love it. Love it. And be patient, and you will have a rocky road, because there are a lot of stepping stones.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of times when you talk to young hip hop artists or people into entrepreneurship or anything that you start off with, people, I think Jay-Z said it best. He's like, everybody wants to emulate my success, but they don't want to emulate the process. And a lot of people hate the process. They just want the end results, because that's what you normally see when you watch the music videos. You see the artists walking around with their, some of them fake chains, and they walk around with these cars that was rented, not theirs. And so they're trying to project this image of success. And so it seems that people only want to follow you or be a part of what you're doing if you're already there or already arrived. They don't. They hate the process. Like, they don't understand what it's like when you were drawing and you wasn't making any money, but the love that you had for your art motivated you to keep going until you got to where you are today. And I'm glad you said that, because we don't hear that too much. We always hear about, well, I started out day one and day two, I'm working with Chuck D. It don't work like that. There's a process. Yeah, there's a process to get there. And there's a myth that as soon as you do something, you become successful. That's why I think so many people get burnt out quickly and they give up before, they're one step from being successful, but they give up too quick because they got frustrated, or they didn't get the results they wanted, or they're not seeing the rate of return that they want. And so, I want to highlight that, because I think that's important. And not only from being an artist as far as writing rhymes or writing songs or even being a musician, but even as an artist, when you're drawing and all of those things, there's a process no matter what you do in life. But if you stick with the process and keep going, you will see some success. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I'm planning to do a piece. I just got some cardboard, spray painted in light gray and a little bit of yellow. And I like to draw the letters. Life is a process. Like, keep going. Trust the process. It is what it is. You need to go through it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I was wondering also, is there any cartoonists you yourself looking up to, you appreciate, or who inspire you?
Me?
Yeah.
First off, for me is Master Ace, but I met him a couple of times at his shows, and he always was very respectful as a person, and his art is like priceless.
Yes,
so these two things together that's a powerful impact.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I respect him so much for that, and I like his art. And of course, Method Man. As a kid, I was like, I'm Method Man. Fuck who you are, I'm Method Man.
All right.
Yeah, I'm honest, man. It's just the Blackout album, Redman, Method Man, Be Real. Big fan of Be Real. And I like griminess. Grimy is true to me. And honest styles, and pioneers, people who are, or artists who are pioneers in what they are doing. And
would you say
Sean Price?
Okay. Are those the ones that inspire you, or just people that you are your favorites, basically?
My favorites, and even inspiring, of course. And Pac, early days Pac, I was a Pac fanatic, even Eminem. These days, and I appreciate what he did, but I can't relate with that anger. And I like the new stuff from him, but I like the original hip hop more. And that sounds pretty shitty, but I'm picky with what I'm listening to and what I let into my system, because I always looking for some positivity for myself. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to know. I hear you talking about the East Coast a lot. Are you into any of the Southern hip hop
Outkast. From the South?
Yes.
Yeah, Outkast. I was listening to Outkast. ATLians.
Have you given Scarface a try?
Yes, I heard of Scarface, of course.
Do you ever do any of your art that focuses on any of the Southern artists?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I did a lot of East and a lot of West Coast artists, but to my shame, not a lot from the South. Let me think, but I think I didn't. I did. No, shame on me. But I like the South.
That's my Southern roots chiming in. I'm from Texas, so I have
Cool.
a little soft place in my heart for Scarface.
Yeah, I can't understand it. He's dope.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why I asked, because I look at your art a lot online, and I think everything you've done so far has been just fantastic.
Appreciate that.
And I just wondered about the Southern aspect, because you know we always feel like we don't get a lot of shine. So
It's true. It's true.
I'm asking ConfuseArt to make me a personal commission for the Pimp Trick Gangsta Click crew that Outkast talked about on the Aquemini album. You got that new Pimp Trick Gangsta Click?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put a disclaimer now. No more special requests from the crew. All right. No, I'm just kidding. I was just having fun. I knew.
But good point. But a good point.
I knew SP was gonna bring up Texas. I knew it. She had to slide it in there. See, I'm not gonna bring Florida in, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's all good. It's all good. SP.
Just love is love.
We right here, SP. We right here. All right.
But I like the question. She's right.
No, she cool. That's family right there.
Pulling the card, ConfuseArt.
I do want to kind of keep it here at hip hop, and great questions, by the way, that's been shared, especially getting you to talk about Southern hip hop, because all of that is a part of hip hop, as SP highlighted, and even the one that Neb talked about as well. So we're grateful that you did talk about that, and even considered that aspect. But I do want to talk about something, because hip hop has gone through, I would say, a sense of mourning recently, because so many artists have passed recently, icons rather. And I even look at Kango, and Kango, who's right now hospitalized, going through cancer, and we lost DMX. You mentioned him earlier. We lost Heavy D. We lost Craig Mack. We lost so many people.
MF Doom.
Yeah,
too many. Too
early. And you got a beautiful picture of MF Doom. How has that impacted you? Can you grab that real quick? I know you said
yes, sir.
Do you mind
all good.
That? Okay, and then we'll finish my question after that. But I just want people to get a close up, because it's such a wonderful piece of art, and I don't want nobody to be denied that opportunity to see it up close.
Metal Face Doom, aka Doomale.
Doomale. Look at that.
Wow.
It's a spray can, and the background is with spray can, with a spray can.
Yes.
And the rest is with Molotov markers.
Wow.
Because I wanted to try out something new and something special, because he was very special. And like your favorite rapper, basically.
Yep.
And
Yep. That's true.
One of a kind.
Can you throw it up one more time? Can we throw it up one more time? Let's see it, please. Thanks. Wow. Nice. Green. Money green.
Yeah. Green is my favorite color. And
okay.
standing ConfuseArt, One Love.
Oh,
Funny enough, ConfuseArt green's my favorite color too, man. Thanks a lot.
It's the best. It's the best.
Boom. All right. So how
green
has
and
that?
purple?
Absolutely. Well, okay. Now you're getting the purple. That's a beautiful color too.
Green and purple, man. These both are like wow, explosion.
Royalty.
Yeah, royalty.
That's right. So how has that impacted you? Because I know you drew some of the artists that we see that pass, but how has that impacted you as a whole? Like, I don't know if it impacted your artwork because it seems like you find a way to continue to stay inspired based on the question you asked when we were asking you about writer's block. But how has the passing of iconic hip hop artists impacted you as a whole? I mean, I know you say you shed a tear for DMX.
Yeah,
Was there anyone else that impacted you at the same level that DMX, or has how have you been impacted by the other passings that occurred over the years?
the most and deepest impact definitely was DMX for me, because he was such an icon to everybody. I could bet on it that everybody would say that DMX is a real icon for everybody. And this came like he just was on Drink Champs, and like then from one day to another, I couldn't believe it. I was like speechless, and I was like emptiness, and then I felt like just tears come to my eyes, and I was like, nah, that's not real, not DMX. So that, yeah, like I said, I'm a very emotional guy, and these all are superheroes of me. Some more than others, but yeah, that's surreal. When
Doom made me cry.
Yeah, that,
I cried when
and you're not the
and
Yeah, Sean Price. Yeah.
Sean Price, like these are all legends and heroes for so many people, and everybody is dealing in their own way. But I'm just like, for hopeless, and then I try to give them as soon as possible a tribute, but not like the next day, because I think that some people like doing clickbait with that, and shame on these motherfuckers.
I agree.
I wait like 3 months. I did Ghetto Boys, not the next day, but 3 months later, just to have respect for the families. I don't like this like fiending for attention. So I try to tribute all of them. Yeah.
I kind of go that same pathway because I feel like some people, like you look at now, the rapper that passed recently, and forgive me if I don't say his name, but I'll just say the first part, Dolph. It seemed like a lot of people just on him now. It didn't seem like they were interested in him before.
Nipsey Hussle, the same with
Nipsey Hussle. I mean, now Nipsey Hussle is like, and don't get me wrong, he should get his flowers. I think every person that contributed to hip hop should get their flowers. I'm not against that. I just think that sometimes people use it as a way to promote themselves rather than promote the issue or to bring awareness to the struggles that happen in hip hop. Because as much as we don't want to mention it, we need to start giving our hip hop artists their flowers while they're alive. I won't say it's too late to honor them when they're passed, but they can't really enjoy the tributes at that point. They can only enjoy it when they're alive. So we need to have more respect for them. I looked at Rihanna, who was recently became, she was given honors in Barbados. And we're starting to see some love for hip hop. Like we're seeing artists getting streets and all of that different stuff. But we definitely have to do a better job at showing love to our hip hop artists while they're alive. Not only when they're passing, we should show it whenever we can, but we definitely got to do it alive. I'm going to ask you another hip hop related question, and then one is that I think you kind of touched on who your top 5 MC solo artists. If you didn't, can you elaborate on that a little more? If you did, then what would be your top 5 hip hop groups?
The groups. Okay, Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Well, groups. Yeah, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep.
Okay.
Juice Crew.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I liked. Damn. I
know you mentioned Outkast. I don't know if that's in your file.
Outkast, yeah, thank you, brother. Outkast, phenomenal. Outkast. And last, damn. Can't come up with it's the life pressure, man.
That's okay. You know what? You got 4 out of 5, and you did it on the spot. So you're doing
okay. Cool.
You did well. Don't even worry about that.
But Wu-Tang was huge, man.
Let me throw out Smith.
You're breaking up on us.
Did we say Dead or Alive, Soul Rat?
I think she said Smith and Wesson. I wasn't sure if that's what.
Let me
say that again, please.
I think she broke up again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't hear what she said.
I think she said Smith and Wesson, but she could correct me when she come back.
Yeah, Smith and Wesson is dope. Yeah.
Now,
Camp Click.
Oh yeah.
Helter Skelter. Now they are coming.
Okay. But now you named 5 MCs, and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you said Master Ace,
Red and Meth.
Who else? Red and Meth. Okay,
Red and Meth.
That fall in that hip hop group too. So
yeah,
that group too. So
my favorite duo of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're my favorite too. I think they are. I mean, if I haven't really sat back and thought about it as much, but I think if I was able to rank them, I think they would probably be my favorite as far as duos. Either them or Outkast. It'll be either or. They're running.
Yeah, okay. But you can't compare them.
I know. That's why it'd be hard for me to make a conclusion on.
Outkast is on the music side. They got this musical.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
nobody can fuck with the Outkast. They are so outstanding in what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Red and Meth are doing great shows. I was on the show when was it 2016, and Method Man was like jumping right into the audience. Like I was like, oh goddamn, there's Method Man. Like one I couldn't believe that he was falling there, but he did it intentionally. And I was so blown away. I was with my best friend with the name Julia. We were there, and I was like, that's Method Man. Couldn't believe it, man.
Yeah, it seemed like he seemed like he's still back when he first started with all the level of energy he had. Like he never aged, it seems.
Yeah. That was dope. And Be Real, Sean Price.
Okay.
And Pac, Biggie.
Okay.
There's so many.
Dope.
There's so many. But these days more East than West Coast. I was hearing from my sister out from her room, G-Funk era.
Okay.
She wanted to regulate. So I came more to the West Coast.
Okay.
And then she was like, Dear Mama from Pac. And I was like, who's that guy? Because she's older than me and she had a good shit. So I was like digging into it, and then bada boom, bada bang, I had like All Eyes on Me and stuff. And that was my joint for years.
All right.
And All Eyes on Me, like huge classic. Huge classic.
And I was curious, how would you like to expand creatively for the future?
To expand?
Yeah. What's your goal for the future?
First off, I would say to have purpose in my art, that it's not just this egoistic thing, but bring value to the culture. And then I want to gain more together with my crew, Mad Urgency, do tributes and
a book maybe.
A book would be good, and I was asked by somebody, but
nice.
that felt like too much. I wasn't too much hectic in my life, little health issues like the last years, and now I'm back into shape. And now I can focus more on the art. But the last year, I was dedicated more to my health. And I overdid it with painting like all day, every day. But I like to give value, purpose to my art. And
Yeah. That's good you took time off for your health, because I think we have to make room for that. I think a lot of times we we neglect ourselves, and and I think that's what contributed to some of these. I don't want to speak from a psychological perspective because I'm not in that
You
arena,
can.
but I think that's what affected a lot of artists, hip hop artists, was that they were just working, 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 and to a point where they just kind of burnt themselves out, and some possibly left doing music because they were just so burned out or just so worn out physically, and they never took out time for themselves. You got to make what I call me time. You got to make time for
Yeah.
yourself. That way you can be rejuvenated. That way you can be refreshed, and that way you can keep going on and on. Because we need, we need these artists. We need what you're doing. We need all of the things that we're seeing today, because I think that keeps the culture. That makes the culture so rich and so powerful when we have all these different people that make a contribution.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's I need. I think that a lot of artists don't do breaks at all, because I was like, okay, working time. Now you need to work and you need to nail that artwork, whatever I'm working on. And then one day I had this numbness in my face and my shoulder and all signs from your body like, man, stop it now. So yeah,
Okay.
So it's the
quit a lot of
balance.
stuff. Yeah, balance. That's the hard word.
So it's like you can love something, right? And you can go
Yeah.
all out, but then you have to realize there are constraints to it, and you have to have the balance and the reality of I need to shut down at times. And I think this type of, maybe not your work, but I guess musicians, they live the tour life, not eating well, long nights, short
Yeah.
days. I think that takes a toll. Then they use the drugs and the liquor and everything to like cope
Mm-hmm.
with things, or to even
Mhm.
help push them. And then when the pills come, all types of other things are trying to like mask symptoms or self-medicate. And I think then eventually the body's like, okay, I give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that happened with you, but you probably the workaholic thing kicked in
I'm a
with you or
workaholic. Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. So the balance then. All right.
The
So that's the
balance,
key.
that's very important. And sometimes I just do stupid shit, watch a movie, don't think of art at all. Even I love it,
Yeah,
but
that's okay.
when you too excessively, you damage yourself sooner or later, And I had to learn this, but luckily I'm healthy, and I don't take it that dramatic anymore. That I need to do something special today.
Mm-hmm.
Do something, be cool that you are alive. That's tomorrow can be like this and done. So I stand up every day, thank the Lord, and then I do what I do, but more consciously, and not with blinders, just stick to the paper and stuff.
So, did you get everything you wanted from your career, or was there some disappointment through the path or some setbacks?
I think disappointments belong to it, but I don't say what it was or who it was.
No.
But I had to learn it, and that's something that artists definitely need to learn, even with their own art. Because sometimes,
Yeah.
let's keep it real, sometimes the artist puts 100% effort in the piece and nobody likes it. But hey, that's not you, that's just the taste of people. Learn it, understand it. So to me, it always was like, okay, I do good stuff. Where the money at? But hey, it's up to the people, and you need to respect that. Not everybody wanna hang your stuff in their homes, because it is what it is. So this was a disappointment somehow, because I had a business running for 6 years, and then in between, the thought came to mind, maybe you don't do good business. So I closed my business. That was like a disappointment, but I was honest to myself. Okay, you tried, you gained a lot of friends in the business, and that makes it up for me again. And to get some respect from our legends, hey, that's priceless. But disappointments, that belongs to artists. That it's just yeah.
So I have a
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
I everybody gives props to the.
Okay.
SP, you muted yourself. SP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody gives props to the 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite 80s artist?
80s. The Fat Boys.
Oh yeah. Fat Boys.
Yeah. Fat Boys. That's the first came up to mind. Fat Boys.
Have you done
So
any paintings of them?
No, I didn't.
So I was talking to my niece, and my niece is 10,
Okay.
and I didn't it takes a while to realize, but I finally realized how much Biz Markie crossed so many generations. And my niece she was a fan of Biz Markie, but not because of his music. She didn't even know of his music. He was just on a kids program and beatboxing, and that is how she became a fan. So I don't think I think a lot of times people dismiss the 80s, and they forget because now these guys are doing so many things, and I think it's a testament to how hip hop is moving. And so my question to you is, when you look back, did you think that hip hop would be this vast?
Good question. I'm not sure. Like these days, that it will be like as big as it is, or
Yes.
what you mean? I always
Not
knew
only
that
as
hip hop
big
is
as
like.
not only as big as it is, but reaching into so many pockets, television, movies,
All over the place. Yeah.
NFTs. It's just moving. It's moving so vastly. Did you see that in your head when we were just living it?
That was my culture from day one, and I was like, yo, this is the shit. You don't know nothing. If the people were into hip hop, I was like, you don't know nothing. You don't know what's good. And I always knew that this is for the real people, but as big as it is today and prominent on all kind of stuff like movies and what you just said, like NFTs, and it's everywhere. But yeah, I was there when people wasn't believing in it, and but I never would have thought that it would be that big as it is today. Like, yeah, I always knew it is a strong culture, but some people were like, you did hip hop, dude," and I never understood that fronting from people were fronting here like, "Oh, this techno has this." That's not my rhythm. I hope I could answer your question somehow.
Yes. And also, since we're on the topic of NFTs, are you using NFTs to promote your artwork?
Nope. I myself, I'm not interested in it. I'm not a good businessman, and no, I'm for myself not.
So wait, ConfuseArt. You said that 2 or 3 times already in the interview. Do you think that there needs to be? Do you think that you need like management or artists like especially painters and this and that, maybe they kind of need management, because if you notice, a lot of time galleries come in, right? Managers and this and that. But this is me talking now out of my neck because I don't know, but watching like Basquiat documentaries and all of that, it always took quote unquote handlers and middlemen or middle women to kind of position them. Do you think that that's necessary in the oil painting and the hip hop worlds?
I mean, artists, most of them need a management, because I saw it myself. I had this business running from 2016 and I closed it 2020 because it wasn't lucrative. Because what I'm speaking from my position, when I was painting, I've started to think like a manager, and you can't sell that because this people would think this and this people would think this. So you analyze more and more and more and more, and you leave something behind. And this is the creativity, because my creativity always was like, fuck who thinks that this is shit. I think it's dope. That's enough for me. And I always had a positive impact with people when I did what I just felt is right for me. And management, I think, yeah, it's important for the most artists, but I think the most artists can't handle it because of their big ego. They want to like I did that and I did that. And when it's not happening for them, it's his fault, it's her fault. We are a complicated breed. But I think, yeah, management should be definitely an option. But I think you need to do as much as possible by yourself to get familiar with the business, how is social media working, how is connections, networking, all of that stuff, and being positive and professional with the client, and fees, and all of that stuff. And I did that to myself for too long, and then I've started losing facial hairs.
Oh,
So yeah, I had
okay.
I was bald here,
Okay.
and yeah, then I was smoking some CBD marijuana,
Okay.
and came back, man.
Okay.
But I think,
I need some of that.
yeah,
I think we all can benefit from that.
the CBD were that is working for me.
I didn't know that people get bald on their facial hair. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
that
about.
was
That's new.
stress. I had
Powerful
it here.
impact. Boom.
I had it next to my beard, so I was like, okay, I can live with that. But it was just blank. It was blank, and I was like, fuck it. What is it? And then I was realizing it's too much stress, and that's the reason why I closed my business. And
Okay.
a lot of pressure was like I was leaving a lot of pressure behind. But to come back to your question, that should definitely be an option
Okay.
for artists to be promoted better. Perhaps a little bit self-reflection is good for every artist to understand that it's perhaps necessary.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
we have to find a NFT manager for you guys, all you hip hop drawer, Dan Lish, you ConfuseArt. We have to find some NFT, because I think there's a part of it that's like I want to stay authentic to the art, but then it's like we're also transitioning into something new, and I think it's hard to embrace that until you fully understand it, or then even see that it makes sense. And I think that's a part of it, and the education as well. You need to be
Yeah.
educated on it.
I saw a lot of that NFT stuff because I saw all our legends like posting on, yeah, give me your best stuff. And you just can scroll down and see what people are posting. The most stuff is very childish, too many colors, like the color explosion, and it is not appealing to me. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
don't feel it. It's not innovative, and people do these animals with different clothing and stereotypes, and I can understand it, but have the balls to do your own thing, I would say. If you
Okay.
do NFTs, if Denlish would do NFTs, that shit would sell. That would
Oh yeah.
sell,
No
because he's
doubt.
doing very innovative, unique art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he could pull it off.
Okay. I think you can too, but I understand where you're coming from, though. I think you got. I think your artwork is something that can that's invaluable, and I definitely believe that you can benefit from it. But again, that's something that you have to consider. But I'm but yeah.
I want to have a hip hop emoji. Finally, we don't have
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So this is why this from this fuck depression to hip hop.
Okay.
This is the. I was like, just the emoji. We need that, not as this, but
Yeah,
put a snapback and hip hop. Where is it, man? We need one. We need one in our smartphones. Where's our emoji?
It's dope.
That's true. That.
Let me ask you, because you're talking about management. So when it comes to artists like yourself, do you? I talked to a couple of producers, and one of the things that they always say is you have to allow yourself to be produced. Is it the same way with artists and managers? You have to allow yourself to be managed?
Boom!
I think yes. I think it depends where you want to go. If you want to do, if you want to gain money, and if you want to be on famous, whatever. I'm not the dude that wants to be famous, so I got already a blockade in myself. Like it's blocking me to be too successful because it comes with the territory. I'm very aware of it, so that's why I try to keep it low key.
That's why you're confused art. That's why you're confused art. And your favorite color is green. You're confused.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just playing. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Finish.
No. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, I think some artists definitely need management. Definitely. Because they can handle it.
All right,
what I see with artists is like they have a lot of good ideas, like we can do this and we can do that. Yeah, what have you finished? In the entertainment world, only stuff that is finished that counts. If you come with like my Sean Price isn't ready, I showed it already on Instagram. I got a couple of other pieces that are unfinished, and this is unprofessional for the people. And the manager would say, "Hey, yo, do it first, and when it's done, we do the promotion." You know, so artists. Yeah, I think management is important for artists.
Issa just back channeled me and she told me, Soul Rack, and SP and Powaful Impak will start a management company. So we'll get back to you on that shortly.
Dope.
Issa, your time.
Okay. Well, I was wondering what would you want to be remembered for and why?
To be a funny guy. To make people fucking laugh.
Oh, yes.
That's all I want to do.
You're a funny person.
And your legacy with your art?
I just want to make people laugh.
All right, cool.
Perhaps my art is inspiring for people, but what really is important for me is to make people laugh in the normal day and be a good person. Yeah. Not stupid. I had to learn this too because everybody's like, "Yo, man, you dope. They give me that. Fuck you," and they are out. I had this like a deja vu until I had to accept, "Yo, man, but you need to set borders for the people. They know that you are a positive and a kind person. They tell you everything you want to hear, and then they have their artwork or whatever, and then they are gone." So, yeah.
So you're saying basically you have to know your value as well.
Your value is important. Yeah, very important. And but what I want to leave on this planet is humor and appreciation for those who achieved something, and we can gain something from it. You know, tributes and laughters. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and that's good that you said that because we do need to laugh more. We went through so many different things in the last couple of years with COVID-19 and the passing of hip hop icons and so many different things. And people are just tense right now. People are stressed out because they're going through lockdowns. I know over there in Europe and places over there like that, even in South Africa, I'm hearing about lockdowns that's going to be for an extended period of time. So people are stressed. and they just mad as hell, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't go nowhere, they can't, you know, thank God for the power of internet, we can communicate to one another, but people don't have that ability to socialize. So it's good that you want to leave a legacy where you cause people to laugh, because we need to do that more often. And I think that will relieve some of the stress that we have. I want to continue to stay on legacy because I think that's important too. And I'm glad that you did mention you want to make people laugh. Now let's talk about influence. As far as who influenced you, who are the 3 most influential and impactful people in your life up to this point? And it could be someone personal or professional. And you can, and just tell us why, whomever you name.
All genres.
Okay.
You mean all genres, no matter what?
Just a person. It could be a person, or it can be a thing, or whatever you influence you as a whole.
Very early.
Okay.
Tupac.
Okay.
Because his energy and his spirit, that was like, I don't have to explain, man. Pac.
No,
there was some people told me, man, you rap like Pac, do your own shit. I was like, yeah, damn, I need to do my own shit. Because he was so influential worldwide, poet.
Yes, he was.
And you know, wise people, not people that are not cocky, and people that know what they are and their value, but don't front in your face like I'm that big. You are nobody. I don't like cocky people. My father, my mother, my parents, I should have say first my parents. I'm very grateful. Okay. And yeah, Pac was very early.
Okay.
Dalai Lama, because I'm a Buddhist.
Okay.
Yeah. Dope. But I don't practice. I just use this pillow to adjust my back.
Okay.
I don't meditate on it. Huh?
Yeah. I was going to ask, how do you think that plays a part in your work spiritually? And that's interesting. Do you think it plays a part, or do you hit the boom?
I did that, man. And I even got a mentor. His name is Lama Tempa, and he went from Germany to America like 15 years ago, and then to Hong Kong. I don't know, but I lost interest, and you know, I was like, my girlfriend was Buddhist, and then the spirituality.
You're a wayward monk, ConfuseArt. You're a wayward monk. You're
I got my chain here. I got my chain here.
Platinum monk chain. Oh, that's dope. That is
I got this.
Tough. Yes.
But yeah, spirituality is something that goes through my whole life. I respect all religions, but spirituality is more how I would describe myself.
Okay.
It plays a big part, and spirituality mixed with reality, because you can go too deep into spirituality. I'm sorry, and get lost in it. Sometimes you need to come back to reality. So a good mixture of both. Yeah.
Okay.
But no meditation, just back adjustments.
So I think he's officially, I might be wrong, but I think he's officially our first Buddhist.
I think so.
First Buddha monk. That's dope.
So.
He made history.
Buddha monk is dope.
He got the bees and all, so we know he official for real. You know what I'm
saying? Imported beads from another country. That's what I'm talking about.
No doubt. And I'll go ahead and ask you, do you have any shout outs, or anything you're currently working on that you would like to promote or highlight on the show?
Let me think. I don't have nothing at the moment, to be honest. Okay. The Master Ace acrylic portrait that was like I put a lot of work in it, and we had the show together in New York, honoring Brother Ernie, and that took a lot of work. And after it, I wasn't into anything else at the moment. I'm just like scribbling and stuff, and breathing. And then when I feel like I need to do something, I do something. But what I do almost every day is studying. just like quick portraits, like 15 minutes and stuff, quick stuff. But I don't have no real project at the moment.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, the Snoop Dogg. I do a Snoop Dogg caricature, ConfuseArt Extra Large. That's the title of it. Because my father told me, man, you need to. He didn't say, man, but he said, give your pieces titles, man.
Mm-hmm.
My greatest fan and worst critic. Fortunately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's dope. That's dope. Well, I do want to give you a chance to share with everybody your social media. That way they can go ahead and follow you and continue to support the awesome artwork that you're doing. So can you just take a moment to share with our audience how they can find you or follow you on social media?
I'm only on Twitter.
Okay.
And it is Confuse_art. And also on my own website, ConfuseArt.de.
Okay.
And Instagram, I would say it's Mad Urgency.
Okay.
Plus madurgency.net.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it from the man himself, ConfuseArt. and he stated in the interview that he want to leave a legacy of laughter. He definitely made us laugh today. And again, we just greatly appreciate him for taking out time to tell us his story. And we appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Powaful Impact podcast.
Before we go, can I just ask him one last question, and I promise this is the last question.
Okay.
Of course.
It's just because I just feel like you are hip hop.
Thank you very much.
So, what does hip hop mean to you?
It's me. It's my identity. It's my identity. I would say, yeah, it's my soul. It's the way I talk, walk, speak, connect with people. Like, this is my identity. Okay. And we in Germany have a hard problem with having an identity because of that motherfucker with that mustache, with the weird beard.
Mm-hmm.
And
Talking about Tom Selleck from Magnum PI. Tom Selleck.
No, you know who he's talking about.
he kidding me, man. Yeah,
Dolly, the painted Dolly.
Yeah,
hip hop gave me an identity, so I'm always all hip hop. So this is what hip hop means to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it shows in your artwork what hip hop means to you. I think you do a great job. Not only the tributes that you do to the hip hop artists or icons, but I think you do a great job of emphasizing the importance of hip hop to our generation and the upcoming generations. And so salute to you on that. And great question, by the way, SP. I'm glad we got that in there because we like she said, you are hip hop, and I feel the same way. I don't feel that we couldn't end the show without emphasizing that. Again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in to the Powaful Impact podcast with Soul Rag, Neb, SP, and partnership with Rap and Hip Hop Connection, based in France again from the creative mind of Issa. Thank you again for joining us for this particular episode. And more importantly, we are glad to have the hip hop, Mr. Hip Hop, as well as the man who made us laugh throughout the show, ConfuseArt, who's a member of the artist collective Mad Urgency. Again, that was a collective founded by Mr. Chuck D.
Yes, sir.
We always advise everybody to, first of all, follow our guest today, which was ConfuseArt, but also we want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected to upcoming episodes, and follow us on social media. Remember, Powaful Impact is more than music, it's a way of life, and you can follow us online at Powaful Impact. Again, we thank our guests for joining us, ConfuseArt. Issa, we thank you again for being a part of this wonderful podcast, and more importantly, I thank all of my cast members for being here tonight, my teammates. And Issa, you're an honorary teammate, so you're still part of the family as well. And so we thank everybody for being here tonight and making this show what it is today. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank
and
you
have a
very much.
wonderful night. and have a wonderful afternoon for those that are in the United States. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right.
ConfuseArt.